So tax time can be really stressful, but does it really need to be? And should you pay someone to do your taxes for you? Should you use a CPA or should you just stick with TurboTax, which everybody knows? By the end of this video, I hope you'll have a better idea of whether you want to hire a tax professional or if you want to go the DIY route and use a tax software solution. Hey, what's up guys? My name is Chase and this is a penny pincher's guide to personal finance. Make sure you subscribe so you can get some more tax updates this year and stick around to the end of this video so you can find out some tax information that could save you hundreds of dollars. But more on that later. All right, so let's start with time. Taxes can be incredibly time consuming. According to the IRS, the average taxpayer spends about 13 hours preparing and filing their taxes. That includes gathering forms, reading instructions, and actually filing everything out. On top of that, your tax situation may be a little bit more complex than others. Additional forms, numbers may or may not be needed to properly fill out your taxes. And if you have a busy schedule, those hours can really feel like a lifetime. And for many of you out there watching this video, the amount of time might not be available to you to be able to do all your taxes in a correct manner. Because of this time commitment, this is one of the top reasons that people will hire someone to do your taxes for you. Hiring a tax professional can save you that precious time, and it will let you focus on your work, family, or just give you some time to relax and get back to the things that you like to do. But if you have a straightforward tax situation, like a single W-2, or it might not have any other big expenses out there, then it might not take you as long as you think to just do it by yourself. Even if you have a few deductions, or if you're just using the standard deductions, then online tax software like TurboTax or H&R Block would be the perfect option for you. Both of these have free versions, or you could even use the IRS Free File to accomplish your taxes without having to pay a penny to pay your taxes. Now, there will be a video coming out talking specifically about the IRS Free File and how you can get the best option forward if you have a very straightforward tax return this year, and that would be something I would recommend. So hit that subscribe button so that you can get that notification and give you that walkthrough step-by-step process of how the IRS Free File works. Now, tax software can guide you step by step and usually get you the job done in just a couple hours. And that is why we do recommend reviewing your documents to see which option would work best for your situation, whether that's going to be using the tax software or going with a tax professional. One of those will be better for you, and it's really up to you to make that decision. Does the thought of doing your taxes make you break out in a sweat? And if it does, and if you're dealing with complex situations like rental income, investments, or self-employment, it can get overwhelming really fast. Tax professionals are trained to handle these complexities and can ease a lot of that stress. So plus, they are also there to answer questions and ensure everything is accurate. Many of them will also offer a guarantee that if there is an issue with the IRS, then they will even follow up and they will fix that, or they will address it depending on what the IRS is asking. Just because of that, that might take up all of the stress and take care of that so that you don't have to worry about your taxes. And that might be the deciding factor on why you would go with a tax professional versus a software option. All right, so how do you choose between a tax professional and a tax software? I'm going to give you a little bit more of a breakdown on which one and why you would do that. So you should consider hiring a tax professional if your taxes are complicated. Maybe you're self-employed, you own multiple properties, or you have a lot of investments. Because of all of those different aspects that will go into your tax return, that is a very big reason to go with a tax professional. Possibly you've had a major life change, like you've gotten married, or you started a business, or you're even retiring. That extra information and questions that the tax professional can answer would be helpful. And then maybe you want personalized advice and tax planning on strategies so they can help you with tax loss harvesting, or there are other things out there that they might recommend compared to a tax software that really can't give you that personalized touch. So you might be asking, well, then why would I use a tax software? Well, you might be interested in that if your tax situation is very simple, like I said earlier. If you're only having one or maybe two W-2s out there, and you're claiming that standard deduction, then it is very easy, and that would be a very free or cheap option for you moving forward. You might also want to do it if you're comfortable using technology, and you can follow up by step-by-step instructions. I personally have used TurboTax H&R Block in the past, and it's worked really well for me. As my life grows and I am having more complex situations, I might consider using a tax professional in the future. But for me, it works really well to use that TurboTax, and it's something that I would highly recommend at least considering before filing with that tax professional if you have a very simple return. And then also, if you're on a budget, that is another reason to think about it. Most tax softwares are significantly cheaper than hiring that professional. So that is an option moving forward if that's something that you're interested in. Now, let's talk even more into cost. Hiring a tax professional can cost anywhere from $200 if it's very simple to up to over $1,000 depending on the complexity of your return. Tax software, on the other hand, ranges from free to $150, and it might change if you're looking at some other premium versions. So if a budget is a big factor, go with the cheaper option, but make sure that you're doing it correctly, because if you're not, then that could come back and bite you in the butt later if they're asking for more money or adjusting that tax return, or the IRS is coming at you. So make sure that if you are going cheaper, you are also doing it correctly. Ultimately, the decision comes down to the specific needs of the taxpayer. Ask yourself, how much time do I have and how complex are my taxes? How comfortable am I doing it myself? If you're having some questions with that, then it might be worth going ahead and using a tax professional, or even some of the tax softwares like TurboTax and H&R Block will have a tax professional there to answer any questions, and you can still use their online software without having to use the premium cost associated with going with a tax professional. No matter which route you choose, remember, the most important thing is to file accurately and on time. So if you found this video to be helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, specifically if you want to hear about that IRS Free File or give you some step-by-step walkthroughs of some of our tax forms. Those will be coming out in the next few weeks. Thanks for watching, and remember, we are here from your first penny to your first million. We'll see you next time.